Hello everyone, welcome to Redbus US channel. In this video, we look at the latest US immigration employment-based related updates for the week of June 15th to June 21st. So the key highlights for this video are this. This is what we look at, mainly the Visa Bulletin, the 100K fee, what is happening with the appeal, and the DOL data, what was released for the Q2, and what's ongoing this week. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So the big news for this week is there was a July visa bulletin that was released, earlier this week. And as per that, some of the big changes are EB1 India is retrogressed by about 2 months from 15 December 2022 to 15 October 2022. And EB2 India was in fact unavailable, and it continues to be unavailable for the rest of the FY 2026, which is until October 1st when the new things come out, right? And EB3 India advanced by literally 2 weeks, very, very minor movement there. So it moved to 1st Jan 2014. And EB5 unreserved India continued to be unavailable, no changes there. So this one we reported, so last time that became unavailable last week. And EB1 China slightly advanced by about 2 months, basically from 1st April 23 to 1st June 23. And EB3 China actually advanced by about EB3 China advanced by about 5 months. So other than this, whatever if you don't see, they're pretty much current. That's the indication. Again, we're talking about mainly employment-based immigration, and USA has also updated that they'll be looking at final action dates. So that's what it is. So what these means, right? Fundamentally, whatever the date moments, if you look at it, basically the dates were pushed aggressively earlier into FY26. The goal was to use up all the green card numbers, right? Because of the proclamations in place and all of that. But what has happened is that the demand has really come up because of some of the changes and all of that. So now they're kind of retrogressing. Well, that's what's happening. So EB2, India and EB5 basically are unavailable. Means nothing will be allotted. So that's what unavailable means. You could continue to file if you're in the past, but they will not be you'll not get a green card essentially, right? So it'll be there. So EB1 kind of pulled back. So we may expect some retrogression there as well, because now some more applications will be processed because some of the applications that were held up with the court litigation, right? That was lifted last week. So we may see some changes there. So it may further retrogress before the year end, right? And EB3 just advanced slightly. So one of the insights that we can take out, again, these nobody can predict the priority dates. They keep jumping back and forth and changing lanes and all of that. So if you're an EB2 person with late 2013 dates, you may consider EB3 downgrading and doing an interfiling. But again, this is just barely 2 weeks. So I don't know if it really changed. So again, this can go either way, but that's something you could consider. One important thing to note is also if you have a pending I-485 on file, you could continue to renew your I-765 and also get your advance parole, even if it is unavailable. So that's the whole thing. So it won't really impact anything. So one important thing also is in terms of we will get the next incoming green card numbers from October 1st. So we'll have to wait and see how these things will move. So not the backlog countries doesn't really not very promising. So we'll have to see how the whole thing will pan out. So that's regarding the visa bulletin. So the second thing that we've been covering last couple of weeks is more on the $100,000 court case for H1Bs, right? So last week, what happened was district court basically, said that it's unlawful and all of that. And in fact, there was a stay that was given as well, administrative stay. We gave them 5 days. So what happened, if you can see on the screen, right, on June 18th, as per the stay date given by the previous judge, they did file the motion to stay with the First Circuit Court. So we'll have to see now again. What this means is that if they're filed, now it still continues to be in effect. Now we'll have to see how the First Circuit will weigh in the stay. So we'll have to wait and see, how the whole thing will happen. Again, this is going now stuck in the First Circuit Court, so we'll see what happens there. Again, there are also some of them that are pending right now. A couple of more appeal, one more appeal, and one more case is pending. So it's kind of in a limbo between courts, and all of these things are happening. So we'll keep you posted if any of these things get changed in the meantime. But again, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens here. The other update is regarding the H1B LCA data quarterly. I think this was released a week or two ago. Not exactly sure, but the numbers came. We consider the numbers. So basically, if you look at, there is a 14% drop in H1B LCS. That directly signifies the drop in H1B jobs. So that's what it is. Due to the changes in AI-driven hiring shifts, layoffs, all of these, and the 100K fee, all of these could factor in for that. But overall, the economy, previous Q1, it was actually 20 plus percent, 23, 26%, if I recollect. So that was a big drop. So what happens is you look at the number of LCAs that were filed for each H1B jobs, right? So based on that, this could be new or this could be transfers. All of them come and we're talking about H1Bs and all of that, right? So there is a 15% drop. That's what we get from Q2 data. And this data is basically from October 1st all the way through March. That's what it's factored in. If you look at the perm, right, there is basically no change. So it looks like what it was in last year. So there's been drop, previous years, but I guess not many employers are really aggressively filing for green cards related perm applications with UL. So that's one thing you can see, and not much changes there as well, right? Again, this is the update on the data part. Regarding H1B Visa Slots, we don't have any new bulk slot that released this week, so it's been pretty quiet. All our groups, we keep track of all of these things, right? So there is no data, no bulk slot that released, sporadic slots here and there, but barely, you get here and there, no real slots. Travel advisory, if it's not really an emergency, do not travel, because you could really get stuck if you come travel here. Even if you have an appointment, nowadays it's very tricky because anything can happen. There could be another ban, anything can happen. So again, not to scare, but trying to be very practical, because some of the people that I personally know have been, stuck and, they can't really go back, right, to the America. So that's the problem. So we'll see. So what's ongoing this week is we still are waiting on the duration of status. We are not at finalized. That's one thing that's going on. And also we have, some other rules like signature rule, OPT crack, all of these things that we've covered in the last weeks, but they continue to be happening right now. So all of these are, currently in action. So just to summarize the key takeaways for this week, July Visa Bulletin is very hard on India, especially because now EB2 and EB5 and reserved, and EB1 retrogression, all of these come in, right? So if your EP priority is current and the final action date is then file for A485 now, if you're pending, you can continue to the renewals, right? And the 100K fee stays in effect because the government filed with the First Circuit Court on June 18th. So we'll have to see what will come out of that. There's a DOL data, Department of Labor data that come out for Q2, and we see 14% drop in the H1B jobs. So based on the H1B LC filings, and no H1B visa slots, bulk slots rather released this week. So don't travel. So these are the updates for this week, folks. Again, thank you for tuning in and watching. We have been doing this every week and continue to do it every week. So we'll continue to do this. So please subscribe for getting regular updates. Again, thank you for watching.